I lived 15 years in Richfield Park as in a fire department, rescue squad, everything else, so I know this area. What we're going to go over is what happens if you're someplace and something does happen. Well, first of all, you can do things to not stop it, but help your family get out. When you go to the movies, do you sit down and go, there's an exit, and there's two behind me? Anybody ever do that? Anybody ever go on a plane and count the seats to the exit rows? It sounds silly, but if something happens, you'll know where the exits are to get out. Big crowds, if you're in the middle of the crowd, I always stay to the end of the crowd. You might not get the best seat, but if something happens, I'm the first out. When bad things happen, it's run, fight, hide. Run, hide, fight. Run, get out of the area. If that's what you can do, get out of the area. Hide doesn't work. It really doesn't. If you ever see the statistics, they go in. If they can see you, they're going to shoot you. Fight is what you need to do. However, if you can stop access to the room, nobody's ever shot off a door and kicked into a room, ever. Usually it's these, I'm not going to go to the statistics because they're all in the book, just a waste of time. But these things happen really fast and are over with fairly quickly. So if you can maintain yourself, your children, your family for 10 minutes, you're probably going to make it through it. That's how that part works. But now remember, we're talking about, everybody was talking about guns. There's more stabbings in the United States than there are gun violence. If you look overseas, they use sarin in Japan in the subways. We all think about guns. Radiological, what if they got a dirty bomb? What if they went to the dumps and got out the needles that they use for chemotherapy and blew that up? So that's all in the book too. It's not just what we're thinking now. The United States has been lucky. We haven't had these kind of attacks. It's not when, it's not if, it's when. So let's talk about what we can do to protect ourselves. You go to a place, you tell your kids, your grandkids, whatever, we're gonna meet here. Here's where we are, E4. Make sure they know where the parking place is. If you're going to go to a diner, make sure you're near an exit so you can see where the exits are. When I go to a diner, I never sit with my back to a door. I'm constantly watching everybody that comes in. Why? If somebody walks in July with an overcoat, buttoned up, and his hands in his pockets, there's a problem there, isn't there? So this is situational awareness. You should be able to go, that's not right, and we're not kids. We've been around the world. We know that feeling like something's not right. You should start really looking. Let's talk about, there's different ways to be aware. You can be unaware, which is right here. People are just really, you're paying attention to me, you're not watching or listening. How many people, 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody slams a car door and you're up? Anybody that's been in the military, anybody's been in law enforcement, I'm telling you, I hear a car door, what, who's that? And I wait, okay, and I hear the door open for somebody else's house. You need to be aware of everything that's going on. When you get to the point where you have to run, your adrenaline's kicked in, you're not really thinking well. Had you planned for that happening? Something, not just a gunshot, a fire, or there's a fight and you want to get away, you're in a mall. No, that's the other thing, malls are not the greatest place anymore. How would you get your kids out? How would you get your friends out? What if you have somebody in a wheelchair, how would you get them out? You have to think about this stuff. You're not going to be running down the hallway. What you're going to do is go to a store, go to the back of the store. They all have an exit, a fire exit. Get into the back hall and leave that way. That way you're not in the main area. If you've watched what they've done recently is they will, not in the United States yet, but in France, when they bomb those places, they would shoot people and wait for them all to come out the main entrance and then shoot at them. So go out a side way, don't go out the main entrance. If you're in church, do you lock the doors in church when you're in church, when a mass starts? Most people don't. Have an usher near the door. Every church shooting, they have come in after mass has started. So if your door's locked, they're not going to get in. That's how we stop a lot of this stuff, is by not letting them in. What do you do after the event? Well, see, in Jersey, I have to skip a lot because in New Jersey, we're just all here. We're dead meat. There's nothing we can do. They take away our rights. We can't carry. I teach police. I recertify police. I can't carry a gun because I'm not a cop. I was a military police officer, but that doesn't count. So when I go to Pennsylvania, as soon as I go to the border, there we go. I feel better. They take more and more away from us. I'm getting political, but you got to really watch yourself in Jersey. You might want to think about carrying OC spray, like tear gas stuff. That you can carry if it's under an ounce. That does work really well. And it's about the only thing we can use in Jersey. There's more stuff in the book. There's tons more stuff in the book. I'm trying to just hit the highlights of it. Okay, so something bad happens. How do you exit a building? How would you think you would exit the building? Just walk out. The cops come, are you going to try to give them your wallet? You can try to reach back for your wallet. Now think about that. You're all the police. I just reached back here for a wallet. I'm going to get a few shots, aren't I? Nothing in your hands, not your cell phone, not anything. Keep your hands up and spread. Do what they say. You are going to be thrown to the ground. You're probably going to be manhandled. You're probably going to hear some really nasty words, and you're going to be handcuffed. And then they're going to drag you off and sit you up and find out who you are. They don't know who the bad guy is. They just showed up, and they may have shot somebody, thinking that's the only one bad guy. Have you noticed recently it's more than one? And the really big ones? Or they say it's only one, but obviously it's not. So when the police come out, don't touch anything. Do what they tell you to do. They're going to get you on the ground and tell them my ID's in my right rear pocket. If they manhandle you, just be nice. They're protecting you and they're protecting themselves too. I was in the police, and in the military it's a lot different. People do what they tell you to do, but we had civilians that would come on post and, oh no, I'm not, I have my rights. Are your rights worth your life at that instant? You know what, search me, do whatever you want for that split second to make sure I'm okay. Hopefully you have more chance of getting run over by a lawnmower and losing a limb than you do by being in a shooting. It's not what it's the press. They publicize this. I worked for Channel 11 for 10 years, and it was, if it bleeds, it leads. The bigger stories go on. You never hear about the good stuff. Has anybody heard about anybody stopping a bad guy going into a church in the last year? There's been 6. Not once is it on TV. 6 of them. All you got is type in church resources, whatever, and it comes up and it'll show you. It doesn't have, people never tell you about that. A little girl was being kidnapped. Another guy took out his gun and shot the guy, and the girl wasn't kidnapped. This was in North Carolina? North Carolina. That never makes the paper. A lot of us have taken an oath in our lives to protect the Constitution and from enemies foreign and domestic. You can't really do a lot of that in New Jersey. When we go to Pennsylvania, we go into anything they want us to do. We help out with anything that you can. Unfortunately, you don't see any young people here, do you, in their teens or their early 20s. They all work hard, they have their families and everything else. If they're your kids and your grandkids, you might want to sort of practice this stuff when you're in the mall. See that exit sign right there? If something happens, that's where we'll go, because that's the closest. What do you tell your grandkids? You hear gunshots. You take the kids and you run. Run the opposite direction. The police are going to be there. It's going to be the same thing. Put your hands up. Tell your kids it's okay. It's okay. Probably won't get handcuffed, but they're all going to be picked up and brought over and put down somewhere. The FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Agency, is coming up with classes for this, for civilians now. So if something happens, what would you really do? He said, in Jersey, we're sort of just, but in other places, if you can carry, anybody here got a Florida, Utah carry permit where you can carry in other states? Well, you get your Utah, you can get Florida, you can get your New Hampshire one. It's for a lot of good states too. If something happens, don't draw, don't be a hero, get your family out. Your job is to get your family out of the location. Remember, if somebody comes out with a gun and you're a cop, it's going to be really bad for you. When you go to a restaurant, start figuring out where you're going to sit. You're going to sit so you can see everybody that comes in the door. You're going to see where everybody's going out. Talk about movie theaters, what else? Churches, where do you want to sit? You don't want to sit near the door, and you don't want to sit, it's going to sound horrible, between the doors and your priest or the pastor, because that's where the rounds are going to go flying. We have classes on a church security team, which works in New Jersey too. It's how to deal with it if it happens. We also teach the trauma classes. Anybody here CPR certified, first aid? You know, it doesn't hurt to take a first aid class. It's one day in CPR. If something happens, there's a thing called victim's remorse. If you live through it, you're going to feel bad. If you did do something, at least you'll feel better. There's a Stop the Bleed. It's on the internet. It's FEMA and it's Homeland Security. It's just a thing you can go over, how to stop the bleed. Easy stuff that can save your lives and other people's lives. Buy a $20 tourniquet, leave it in your car if you need it. I feel bad because we can't really go over everything that we need to go over in this. Your house, Christmas time, you get a big screen TV. You just put the box out for everybody to take it? Or you cut it in half and fold it and crush it up so people don't know what you got for Christmas. How many people are on Facebook? Going to Florida next week with the kids and have a great time. So let's see, now nobody at their house. We're in Florida. Oh, this is fantastic. We're having a great time. Not home. You see what I'm saying? People get into it. Okay, how many people have the stickers on the back of the car? Ritual Park football, cheerleader mom, and all that stuff like that. Or they have the little guy and the woman and 3 little kids. So you look at the back of their car. What do you know about them? They're going to be at every football game because their kid's a cheerleader. There's a husband, a wife, and 3 kids and a little dog. Just by looking at their car. And then you look a little bit farther and you see, here's a Korean War veteran logo on a car. You know the guy's not young. Then you see disabled veteran on a car. Now I want to find out where he lives, because now it's a guy who's got to be in his 80s, right? From the Korean War, late 70s. He's disabled. How hard is it going to be to steal everything from him? We put all this information out there, and we really shouldn't. If you're going to go someplace, wait till you get back and go, oh, here's some pictures of where I was. What a great time I had. But it's everything to publicize. I mean, Facebook is incredible. Oh, I had 1 egg and 2 pieces of bacon and a coffee today. Nobody cares. But we all do it. We're going to a birthday party, or I'm really sick, I'm not feeling good. So now all of a sudden you get a phone call, hey, this is the pharmacy. We have your stuff here, but I need a credit card to be able to process it. Think about it. Anytime you put that up, they are going to take advantage of you. And we're all nice people. So if somebody knocks at your door, hey, my car broke down, can I use your phone? Luckily, most of us have a cell phone. Or it's horrible, and my daughter's in the car. Can I get her and bring her? Yeah, sure. Well, let me go to the bathroom first. And I just let somebody in your house that you don't know. There's all these things that go on, and we're nice people. We're going to have our way to help somebody. How many firemen, EMS volunteers in here? Anybody been on an ambulance corps or anything? So you're given of your time. You're a good person. Somebody's hurt on the side of the road, you're going to pull over and help them. That's just how we are. We're dopey. So you pull over. Here's the newest thing. They'll have somebody hurt, or they'll have a really good-looking girl with a hood up. So we pull over to help them. Oh yeah, and while you're in there, they take your car. And then she goes, oh, I didn't know who that was. So now what are you going to do? She's going to leave. It started. Okay, I'm out of here. And all these things go on and on. That's situational awareness. Why is a girl in a bikini on the side of the road? Something's not right. Or a guy sitting there going, oh yeah, with the hood up. Oh, my car overheated. There's no steam. I mean, I stop. I can't help myself. But like I said, out of state, I'm always armed. But what can you do to make people not look at you as a target is the other thing. If they see you walking as a target, unfortunately, if you have a cane, you're a target. What do you have that you can protect yourself as a target? If you have the mace on your keychain, it's OC spray actually. You can hit them with that, that'll knock them down. The gel is really good. Actually, that's a class. You can be certified by the manufacturer, Sabre. Why do you want to get certified by the manufacturer? Anybody can go psh and squirt somebody, right? So you squirt somebody, and then you go to the police and you tell him, but he beat you there. And he says, oh, this guy just squirted me for no reason. In New Jersey, it's usually the first one who gets to the police is the good guy. That's how they look at it. So that's an assault. So you assaulted him first. Well, what you can do is say, well, I've been through this 4-hour course on how to use pepper spray, when to use it, and how to report it. That's going to be in your favor. We're all getting a little drawn out as we get older, where you don't want to go to these classes and everything else. And think about it. When we were kids, did your parents lock the door? My father used to leave the keys for the car in the car.
Yeah, true.
It's not that you have to lock your doors, you have to lock your house. All this stuff, it has to really make a lot more sense. Who's got those little chain things on their door? And that's how you open your door. You know what I'm talking about? The little chain locks that you put on your slide? They're garbage. They have little tiny screws. Anybody can kick it through. If somebody wants to knock on your house, knock on your door, you don't go outside, let me see through the window. Keep that door closed. When do you think kick-ins, well, they call them kick-ins now, when burglaries happen? They happen during the day. As we get older, we stay home more, don't we? So we had in Keensburg, they kicked in this, they were in their 70s, kicked in their door, duct taped them to the chair, and ransacked the whole house. Because they had those garbage locks on the door. Put a deadbolt on your house. You can call a locksmith to do it. I'm telling you, all you have to do is take the old one out, put the new one in, and put some bigger screws in it. All that stuff's in there too. Trying to skip over in my head where we're at. Okay. So we talked about OC. The other thing, when you park, where do you park your car? Do you always park it under a light? Do you leave a little extra? 6 more spots. I'd rather be near that light than where it's dark. They've had Morristown Mall had it, where the guy kidnapped the girl. Okay, so you can see it's pretty close. That's 30 minutes away. Paramus had it too. So we need to, when you get to your car, everybody has now where everybody has a little beepy thing, right? Where he turns lights on. So what do you do if there's 5 or 6 guys hanging around your car?
Keep walking.
Exactly. You keep walking, call the police. You know, if they're sitting there in suit and tie and you're exchanging business cards, you're probably going to be all right. But if they're all sitting there and they're just like, and it's dark and they're looking around, call the police. The other thing is set off your alarm. That usually upsets them and they leave. You know, wee, wee, wee. Oh, okay, we have to get out of here. Go back inside, tell security, have security walk you out. A lot of stores will send somebody out with you if you're uncomfortable. Down the Russ, they all will. They'll send one of the clerks out with you. Christmas is coming up. Be careful of the scams, the phone scams, the email scams. Right? Probably everybody's on Facebook. You get those now too. All this stuff leads down to situational awareness. What can we do to make ourselves less of a target is what it looks like. We were talking about the kids. You're wearing a t-shirt. It'll say the football team, everything on it, you know, and then the fundraiser, and some of them even have the kids' names on it. You don't need that. I'm trying to do it for this group. You can tell your kids and your grandkids. My granddaughter's name's Xania. And they make them wear those dopey school things. So, and her name. So now I know where she's going to school. I know her name. Oh, Xania, come here. Your mom called me. You go to St. John's, right? Well, she sent a puppy. You want to see the puppy? And they'll get the kids into, well, she's older now, but that's how they get kids into the car. That's situational awareness too. You're not going to get in a shootout. I'm telling you, it's just the statistics, better chance of getting hit by lightning. If you do, if you're hurt, that's what you tell first. We talk about first aid. You can actually do first aid. You can stop the bleeding yourself. If you're out and you smell weird smells, like in the middle of winter, you smell like fresh cut grass, that's actually that's phosgene. That's a poison I have to use. A lot of stuff is in there. Just read through it, and it'll tell you what is weird. If you know, it shouldn't be like this. Something's not right. I smell this. I smell chlorine. What do I smell chlorine for? These chemicals are very easy to get. Terrorists are dopey. They're not really brilliant. You know, the World Trade Center was luck. I don't know how they hit it. That's a really small target to hit, going at 500 something miles an hour. I mean, I was in a helicopter. I watched it. I was in a news helicopter. That's what the attacks are going to be. It's going to be something massive now. Oklahoma City, that was one of our idiots that did it. There's nothing you can really do for an explosion. George Washington Bridge, you always go at the upper level or the lower level?
Upper.
Why?
Because if you're on the lower level, you're just going to get crushed.
If they detonate anything, it's going to go up. If you're on a lower level, you're going to get smushed. If there is shooting in the mall, don't hide up against the wall. Bullets actually hit the wall and will follow the wall for about 15 inches. Stay a little bit off the wall. Get down low. Go into the back. I said they all have emergency exits. Go in the back and get out that way. Get to your car. If you are in this place and you smell phosgene, everybody's choking, everybody's gagging, don't get in your car. It's on your shirt. Now you're in a closed environment. It'd be interesting because you're all going to have to get naked. So hopefully it doesn't happen in December. They will take off all your clothes, put it in a bag, and you will get washed down in front of everyone. So there will be nothing between us. We will all know about everyone. They will give you a Tyvek suit. I have extra clothes in my car. I have a pair of jeans, I have a pair of socks, and I have a shirt and extra sneakers. Because if it ever happens, I can dump my stuff off and get out. Think about your car. Do you have anything in the trunk of your car? What they're doing now is they're taking people who are a little older. When they're putting their goodies in the car, the bags in the car, they're throwing them in the car and closing it and stealing the car. I don't care if you have one of those key fobs. If I see your VIN number, I can make a key fob to work for that. I used to work for a locksmith, and I can look at any VIN number, turn through the book, and make a key for it. All right. So now, you're in the car, in the trunk, what are you going to do? You should always put something in there you can drink, put a flashlight in there, put a hammer in there, and find an old cell phone, and every once in a while charge it. You know, every cell phone will dial 911, right? Even if it's turned off. The service, I mean, is turned off. Every cell phone will dial 911. The other thing now, if you have a trunk, and when you look at the trunk, there's a yellow cable in there that you should be able to pull and open your trunk up. Ah, see? If not, leave a screwdriver and a hammer so you can smash your taillight out and see where you are. They won't hear it when they're driving. All this stuff is trying to help everybody not this happen to it, and hopefully it never will. The odds are of somebody throwing your trunk are pretty astronomical, but if it does happen, or the best thing is you tell your friends, hey, this guy, weird guy Chet was telling us that put a hammer and a thing in the back and extra clothes and, oh, okay, so they do it. I have the snack bars and stuff. I have a Jeep now, but you look in the back of my Jeep, I have everything in the back of my Jeep. I have first aid kits and trauma bags and everything else. But so there's more information in that book than I can do in 25 minutes. I try to touch on some little things, but there's an amazing amount of information out there. You can look at FEMA, FEMA.org, HomelandSecurity.org, FBI has stuff on it, the S.A.F.E has stuff on it. If you have questions, there's email. Are my emails on these? No, I'll give everybody my email. It's real easy. And we'll try to answer your questions. If you want to come to we can set up a class for 4 hours. You do a little bit more than this. And you delve into it more. But everything's in there. Like I said, if you have a church, I don't charge churches. I do the same thing. I want everybody to be safe. If you want to do this as a fundraiser for your organization, you can charge people extra $10 when we come down and do it. Any questions on anything I went over? I mean, I know it's just a gigantic anything. Yes?
Can you focus a little bit more on being in a hostile situation? I really like the fact that you said go into any store because they all have emergency exits. I did not know that. So that's excellent. That's a great remark.
They don't go out to the main exit either. If you ever drive around the mall, you'll see just as it says exit, that's where they come out.
Yeah, I didn't know that each store would have a...
No, it goes into a hallway that regular people don't have access to.
Like a service.
Yeah, exactly.
So is there anything else in that situation because I think that's one of the situations where you feel most helpless.
Yes.
I was taught that if somebody approaches you and they want your money, that the idea is you take whatever your purse is or whatever and you just throw it.
Dump it out.
And this way...
If you throw your purse, they're going to go for your purse. If you dump your purse, go, oh yeah, and just dump it. There's a thing it's in there, it's called an OODA loop. It's how you process stuff. You see something, you figure out what you're going to do, and then you act. Basically, if you break that, it's like, give me your money, and all of a sudden there's everything all over the place. Oh, he's going to start looking for, right? He's going to look down, you're going to get away. If a guy wants my wallet, I'm going to take it out, I'm going to stick my finger in it and just dump it and just drop my wallet on the ground. It's actually a technique if you have a gun. You do it left-handed, and when he turns to get it, you ruin his day. Only if he's got a gun or a knife, though. But yeah, dump it on the ground and then run. Usually, once it's on the ground, they're going to leave. Take paper, cut it the same size as dollar bills, and put a $10 bill and clip it, because he's going to see a wad of tens. And he's, But then hopefully you're out of the area. And what's the first thing you do? 911. You need the cops there right away. If you can do it really easy, my phone, I can do one button and take pictures. I'll be running away like this, taking pictures of everything. Does everybody in here have a photocopy of all the stuff that's in their wallet or their purse? Photocopy your driver's license, back and forth, all of your credit cards, front and back, all at your registration, your insurance card, and keep it someplace safe. Because if they take all that, now what? Who has anything on a cell phone that that you need every day? Do you have pictures of all your stuff on the cell phones? Do you have it so if you try it more than 10 times, it wipes everything out on your cell phones? My cell phone, if you try it 10 times, it'll just wipe everything on.
Yeah, decrypts itself.
Yeah, it puts it in. Yeah, I can get back into it, but everything else is gone.
Right.
So there's all these little things that make a lot of sense. If you're a woman, dump it. And the other thing is, don't leave your OC spray in there, because my wife has crowbars and pieces off of 747s and entire galleries of stuff in her purse. If she hits somebody, she'd kill them. But keep it on your keys. When you go to a car, have your keys in your hand. So it's right there. You can always open it. And a lot of people have this little button thing now that opens it too. Have that and have your tear gas or OC spray on the bottom of it. Really easy. Don't be nice to anybody if they're hurting you. Last time, if somebody's choking you, just do bad things to them. You're the good guy. Remember that. Think about it's hard. We also do stuff for women. I can show the smallest person how to get out of a choke from the biggest person. It's so easy. That's all in other classes.
You want to volunteer?
So I can show you if you want. Come on up. Come on up. We're going over my 25 allotted minutes, though.
No, you're good.
I participated in CERTS. CERTS had
Okay.
a reenactment in Garden State Plaza. And they came, 25 of the cadets or the police from the sheriff's office came and ran through, they ran through, shot off 25 bullets or blanks or whatever. And it was amazing. It really was. They had the boots, the gear, the gas, everything. And we had to raise our hand like, we're innocent, we're innocent.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It really was.
And it's great if you can ever get with a group like that, like the sheriff's department. If they need volunteers, it's a lot of fun. Okay, I'm a little bit bigger than her, right? Probably a little bit stronger than her. Just now, when I'm going to just go like this. I'm not going to choke. I just want to take this hand, make a fist.
Yeah.
Come over and take that foot and just turn around.
Okay.
Okay, and then run like hell. No. Okay, now come here, turn around and watch. This really works. I'm not going to turn around.
Okay.
No, turn around,
this
turn around,
way.
turn. I'm not going to choke her, but I'm going to hold my
All right.
hands. Good.
Okay.
And step across. Go. Put your arm up.
Okay.
Now turn around.
Okay.
See what happens?
Oh, I knock you over.
I lose my
Hopefully.
balance. I don't care how big they are.
Good.
See how simple that was? The other thing is you can take your thumbs and then tickle her eyes into the back of her head. They have martial arts. They have actually stuff for older people. Like I'm going to be 60 in 2 years. My back isn't what it was. I just did a course over the weekend. It was civilian response to it's a counter ambush. What do you do if BLM comes up to you in your car and you have your kids? How do you get out of the car safely? How do you get away safely? That was a course we went over. So I was jumping out of car windows all weekend. Anything else? Any other questions?
Yes, what about Subway? If somebody tries to push you off the platform?
Don't stand that close. No, I mean, it sounds silly, but really, if you're going to, stand back so you can at least take 1 or 2 steps.
I never stand next to the.
No, and it's same thing if there's a door, try to stay away from a door so people can't, because what they're going to do, the person close to the door, if they see a pocketbook, they're going to snatch it and go right out the door. So if you protect yourself. When you guys go shopping, what do you do with your purse?
Keep it on my shoulder.
Put it in the bag and put the baby safety belt through it. Because you don't want it on your shoulder, because if they take it, they're going to hurt you. They're going to pull you down to the ground to get it. It's going to hurt your shoulder. If it's in the baby cart with the thing, they're going to pull it and have a card attached to it. It makes a lot of noise, and they don't want that. They're going to leave you alone. It's actually another class.